Hi, Sergio. Hi, Amini from Morocco. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Um, Hi, Rahul from India. Hi, we have someone joining from Uganda. Wow, amazing. Great. We are also live on LinkedIn and YouTube, and we have participants, more and more participants from different parts of the world. Hi, Kishore from Hyderabad, Omkar from India, Lionel from Angola. Hi, someone from Saudi Arabia, Evangeline from Maryland. Wow, amazing. Amazing. It's great to have such a lively bunch of audience here. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Ananya. I would be hosting the session on behalf of Simplilearn. We have a super informative session planned today with an amazing guest as well, so please stay tuned. Right. Before we begin, we have a couple of ground rules that we request everyone to follow. Number one, please drop any question that you have in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. We keep getting a lot of messages in the chat box, so we might end up missing yours. So please use the Q&A box effectively. We will try to answer all your queries during the session or at the end. We have a dedicated Q&A segment also planned as part of the session. Secondly, avoid sharing any external links or personal details on the chat box and keep conversations relevant only to the topic. And finally, if you need an attendance certificate, please give us your full name in the poll that will be launching at the end of the webinar. You will be getting your attendance certificate from Simplilearn within the next 48 working hours. Right. So just curious to know, has anyone attended a Simplilearn webinar before, or is it your first time? Please let us know your answer in the chat. We're very eager to understand our audiences better. Okay, we have someone saying first time, first time, first time. Okay, a lot of you are here for the first time. So allow me to quickly brief about Simplilearn and what we do. Oh, we have a veteran also with us. Thank you for continuing to be part of our webinars. It's great to have you. Right. So going back to an introduction about Simplilearn, we provide certifications in career-aligned learning paths in various categories like ITIL, project management, Agile and Scrum, business analytics, Gen AI, and a lot more. We have helped more than 8 million people in their career growth across 150 plus countries with more than 150 partnerships. And speaking of partnerships, you can see the array of our esteemed partners here, which includes prestigious institutions and leading organizations as well. But what we're really, really proud of is how our programs have impacted careers. Our learners have reported a 50% salary hike on average and have rated us for 4.8 on 5. We have programs taught live by industry experts, top university faculties, and even global companies. You get practical project working experience as well as dedicated support from our cohort manager. Right. That's it with the introduction. So we will start the session with a quick poll. You can type down your answer and let us know in the chat. The question is, how are you preparing currently for the ITIL Foundation exam? Are you trying to figure it out on your own, memorizing the concepts? Are you relying on online video materials? Do you have access to mock tests that you're practicing with? Or have you, just started, or you're thinking about getting started? Type down your answers in the chat box or Q&A box. We will be trying to, curate the guidance that we give and the insights that we give specifically for you. Okay, some of you are saying e-learning, some of you are relying on videos. Okay, just getting started, e-learning again, just getting started, thinking about starting. Great. I think we have a great mix of audiences here, and that's exactly what that I think that exactly sets the context for this session, because in the next 1 hour we will be covering a lot. Firstly, the ITIL version update that has very recently come and what has changed from the previous version. We will also be diving into some of the core concepts of service management, so you can go beyond, e-learning and memorizing these terms and frameworks. Most importantly, we will cover some useful and proven exam prep strategies. And lastly, we will briefly take you through Simplilearn's ITIL version 5 training program and how it can be impactful for your career. And to guide us through all this, we have someone truly inspiring and prolific, Bola Adescope. When I first looked at his LinkedIn profile, I was amazed. He is certified in ITIL, PMP, CBAP, CSM, PSM, CSPO, and I'm sure a lot more. He might have just hit the character limit on LinkedIn. Bola is a consultant, speaker, trainer, coach, and most importantly, one of Simplilearn's dearest mentors. He has a strong foundation and expertise in multiple domains, as you can very well see, spanning project, program, portfolio, and change management, as well as business analytics and business strategy. He has led and delivered agile and business transformation programs end to end through implementation and even performance tracking. He is a highly sought after trainer in the fields of ITIL, Six Sigma, and project management, and we're very glad that he could be with us today to deliver this session as well. Bola, it's an absolute pleasure to host you today. It would be great if you can add on to that introduction and say your hi to the hundreds of participants we have here.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure being here with you and co-learning in the next 1 hour with you.
Great. Okay. The We will get started with the first segment, Bola, which is like another hot topic in the ITIL space right now, which is the version update. When we
Yeah,
started talking about this webinar a few weeks ago, we were discussing in length about ITIL 4. And fast forward to today, we are talking about ITIL 5 and the version change. So, how do you see this change in the exam version? How does this impact those who have already started preparing?
absolutely. One thing that we all need to understand is the fact that change is constant. Change will always happen. And it's even so interesting right now that the speed at which changes happen is really sporadic. So let's look at what has happened from ITIL 4 to ITIL version 5. Few things. Number one, about the certification path. In ITIL 4, we had just the foundation and the managing practitioner or ITIL strategic leader, and then we had the ITIL master. There were a lot of confusion. There were a lot of questions around, oh, which one should I take and all. Now in ITIL version 5, the providers have made it simpler and have made it clearer. So they've built a very simple path to certification and to becoming an ITIL master. So what that means is you will do the foundation, and then you do the ITIL practice manager, and then you can decide whether you want to go the route of the managing professional, and then the ITIL strategic leader, and then you become ITIL master. Very simple, very clear certification path. That's one thing that has changed from ITIL 4 to ITIL 5. The second thing that has changed is the unification of products and service life cycle. As you know, in the industry, there's a little bit of confusion between what is product and what is service and the similarity. So the ITIL 4 kind of distinguished between product and service and the life cycle. But this new ITIL, the ITIL version 5, has now formally merged both the digital product and the service management into one single end-to-end life cycle. What that means is, as a practitioner, whether you're in IT or in business, you can customize the life cycle to either a digital product or service management. I actually think that's very powerful. The third thing that has changed is the fact that ITIL is now not limited to just IT and IT department anymore. It now cuts across the entire organization. What that means is different units, different departments, different divisions within the organization can leverage the ITIL framework. It goes beyond just IT. It goes beyond just IT service management. It covers leadership, it covers strategy, it covers delivery, and even operations across the entire organization. It's moving from just IT service management to literally organizational enterprise-wide framework for driving growth. The fourth thing is AI guidance and governance. I mean, let's think about it. Who talks these days without referencing or without mentioning AI? So the ITIL version 5 has embedded AI readiness, and not just AI implementation alone, AI readiness and AI governance. It has included the lesson that helps us to not just adopt, but responsibly use AI. Use AI responsibly. And then, of course, the last one is the stronger focus, not on just delivery anymore, but on the experience that the stakeholders will have when we are delivering value. So it moves from just output to more outcome and the experience that they'll have when we're delivering value. So those are the major shifts in ITIL version 5.
Right. While a lot of things seem to have changed, there will be a lot of fundamental things about the exam that also remain the same, right?
Absolutely.
Could you take us through what has not changed in ITIL version 5?
Absolutely. The ITIL 4 was actually introduced sometime in 2018, 2019. And not a lot has changed since then. Matter of fact, because it was released in 2019, there were still a lot of practices that are still available right now. So one of them is the fact that the core ITIL principle, the guiding principle, still exists. The one in ITIL 4 is still available and still applicable in ITIL 5. It has not changed. And as you will expect, things change, but principles remain the same. Another thing that has not changed is the concept of the service value system. Every system, every framework that we put in place is geared towards delivering value. So we still have the service value system. The only difference is the fact that that service value system has now included digital products. Another thing that has not changed from ITIL 4 to ITIL version 5 is the management practices. We still have those management practices, except that we've updated those practices to align with the modern terminologies. The fourth thing that has not changed is the fact that ITIL 5 is still compatible with Agile, with DevOps, and with Lean approaches, the same as we had it in ITIL 4. And then expectation, what you're probably more interested in, the exam duration is still the same. The number of questions are still the same. The time that you have to take the exam is still the same. And the pass mark is still the same.
Perfect. Great. That now that we have set the context with the version updates, let us take a deep dive into the core concepts and principles of ITIL version 5. Bola, over to you now. If you can explain as much as possible within the limited time that we have here, that'll be fantastic.
All right. So this is a very big topic, but I'm going to try and spend very few minutes on it. So we have the ITIL management practices. And we have a number of them. We have about 34 of them within the framework itself. Things like relationship management. No organization succeeds without relationship. Relationship between the different units in the organization and their customers. We have supplier management. It's probably impossible or impractical for any organization to internally create everything that they need to deliver value to their customers or to their stakeholders. So we have supplier management. We have change management. As we're talking change management, we have incident management. There will always be incident. There will always be unplanned interruption that will cause degradation in the value that we're delivering. There will be service configuration management, release management. Now, an interesting thing about this is 24 of the 40 questions that you're going to get in the exam will come from management practices. So we always say in Simplilearn, when we train our folks, spend some time understanding this, and we'll cover that in the subsequent slides. But these are some of the concepts that you will get from the exam. ITIL management practices, like service level management, service request management, problem management, continual improvement. And ITIL is living that practice. That's why we have version 5 right now. They're continuing to improve the framework. They're continuing to improve the experience that people have when they are engaging with the organization. So pay attention to this, the ITIL practice management, 24 questions out of 40 questions you will get from this concept or from this topic. And then we have 4 dimensions. No organization exists. No organization survives. No organization is effective without these 4 things. We call them the 4 dimensions of product and service management. Number 1, organizations and people. I have never seen a company, have never seen a business that exists without having people. And those people will have their roles and their responsibilities. Within the people, there'll be some sort of interaction. There'll be like the structure of the organization, the culture and the skills and the competencies that the people should have to be able to deliver product and service to their customers. So that's one dimension, organization and people. The second dimension is information and technology. Information makes the world go round. Technology is an enabler. It enables us to be able to do anything and everything that we do. So this is another dimension that organizations must put in place when they are delivering digital product and services. The third is partners and suppliers, just as we had it in the management practices, supplier management. Organizations will also have some sort of partnership. As you can see, Simplilearn has achieved so much because of the strong partnership that they have with these global leaders. So that's the third dimension of product, digital product, and service management. It talks about the relationship that Simplilearn as an organization or ABC as an organization will have with other organizations that will support them in the design, in the development, delivery, and support of service. And then the fourth one is the value streams and processes. In the exam, 10% of the questions will come from you understanding the 4 dimensions of products and service management. And then we look at something also very important, the guiding principles. The guiding principles. This is a set of recommendations that guides organization in all circumstances. And there are 7 of them. The first of the guiding principles says, focus on value. Let's face it, the reason why organizations exist today is so that they can deliver value to their stakeholders. The reason why Simplilearn exists today is so that we can deliver value to you. When you pass your exam, that is value. When you improve your knowledge about a particular concept, that is value. When you learn a new tool, That is value. So in Simplilearn, we're saying everything that we're doing should be focused on the value that we want to deliver to the stakeholders, to the customers. And that's the guiding principle. For Simplilearn, for all other organizations who have leveraged ITIL, that's number one principle. Focus on value. Anything that doesn't deliver value is termed waste. The second principle says start where you are. Just like, we looked at, we're now in ITIL version 5. We moved from ITIL version 4 to ITIL version 5. And guess what? The guys didn't start creating ITIL version 5 without looking at ITIL version 4, because there are several things that did not change in ITIL version 5 from ITIL version 4. So when organizations are trying to create new things, a guiding principle is that they should start first where they are. They should conduct some sort of current state assessment. They should review their current processes, their current technology to see what works and what does not work. The third principle says, progress iteratively with feedback. The only way that you can tell, the only way that I can tell, the only way that we can tell in Simplilearn whether we're delivering to you or not is when we get your feedback. For those of you who've been in some of our classes, at the end of every class, not the cohort, every day, the Learner Success Manager sends a feedback link for you to provide us with feedback so that we can use the feedback to improve the next class, to improve the next day, to improve the next cohort. And that's a guiding principle. Progress iteratively with feedback. The fourth guiding principle says collaborate and promote visibility. Everybody within the organization should work together, because an organization is a system. In Simplilearn, the trainers, the content guys, the sales team, everybody works together to be able to deliver value to you. Promote, collaborate, and promote visibility. The fifth one says think and work holistically. Don't think in isolation. Understand the entire system. And then think, because there is a possibility that a change that you are making can impact someone else. So think holistically as a whole and work holistically. Number 6, keep it simple and practical. An interesting thing, that is also one of the guiding principles when it comes to teaching in Simplilearn. Keep the concept simple and practical. Simple things, simple solutions are easier to use than complex solutions. Always understand that people appreciate simplicity. There is no innovation without simplicity. Matter of fact, you all know the saying, simplicity is the utmost sophistication. And then the last, optimize and automate. Leverage technology to automate. I'll tell you something. A lot of the questions that you get in the exam, up to 40%, will come from the ITIL value system, and the guiding principle is part of the ITIL value system. So pay attention to this, very, very important. And then this is the value system. Like I said, an organization is a system. A system has several parts. A system has several elements. A system has several components. And the ITIL value system describes how the organization can leverage the interaction between these to be able to translate opportunity to value, to be able to translate demand to value. It starts with the demand. Someone needs ITIL v5, ITIL version 5. And then within Simplilearn, within the organization, there are several things that we will have to do. We've put in place some systems, and at the end of that system, the output is the value that you deliver. So within the system, we have the guiding principles, we have governance, we have the value chain activities, the life cycle activities, the end-to-end, we have the practices and continual improvement. And when all of this work together, we're able to create value as an output. Like I said, 40% of the questions that you will get in the exam will come from the ITIL value system.
Great. That was very detailed as possible, Bola. Like I think a big shout out to you for guiding us through the key concepts of ITIL version 5. These are vast and complex concepts. So for those of you looking for a deeper dive into these concepts and some top-notch mentoring as well, you can explore our ITIL version 5 program training. We will be sharing all the details soon. So with that, let's move on to the next section. I think it will be the most anticipated one amongst our learners, which is the exam strategy. So, Bola, how is the ITIL version 5 exam structured? Like, can you please give us an overview?
Absolutely, absolutely. In the exam, you're going to get 40 questions. 40 questions. These questions will be the standard objective type question. One question, 4 options, 1 correct answer. You will also get negative standard objective type question. What does that mean? The question is going to be asking you what is not. An example, which of these is not part of ITIL version 5? And they'll give you 4 options. 3 of the options will be part of ITIL version 5. 1 will not be. That's called negative objective type question. Be careful about this question because a lot of people don't see the not. A lot of people don't see the except. A lot of people don't see the but. So it says all of the following cities in India except. And then they put you, Bangalore, they put you Bombay, they put you, Andhra Pradesh, and then they put you Maryland. You will also get missing word question. So what that means is they will describe a sentence and they will miss a word in the sentence and they'll give you 4 options. And they'll say which of the options will be the most appropriate to fill the gap that the word that they've missed in the answer. And then you will get, some other question. So 40 of that, you have 1 hour, you have 60 minutes to answer all the questions. Pass mark, you need to get 26 questions correctly to be able to pass. That means you need to have 65%. It's a closed book exam, which means that you will not be able to reference any material. So, because you won't be able to reference external material, it means that you need to understand and master the core principles and the terminologies for you to be able to, succeed. Because you can't open a material and all of those things. An interesting thing about this is there is no negative marking. So if you missed a question, you will not be penalized. The only thing is you won't get any point for that. So 40 questions, 60 minutes, 65%. Pretty straightforward.
Perfect. Now, see, everyone would need like a different preparation strategy, like a different approach and different timelines for the exam. But if you were to suggest, say, like a 4-week timeline, what would you ask your students to focus on each week?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you this from experience. I'm also a trainer with Simplilearn, and I've been training ITIL for a long time. And I am not even boasting here, right? Our students score they pass the exam 100% at once. At once. First try. The pass mark is 65%. Our students get 85%, 90%, 95%. It's very simple. We have the training for 2 weeks. And, Angela is going to go over, and I am going to go over them. We have a training for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, people get to write the exam a week after. People get to write the exam 2 weeks after. In fact, people write the exam a few days after. But I'm just going to describe as a template a 4-week study plan. Week 1, focus on foundation. Try and understand the guiding principles. You see the word that I use? Try and understand the guiding principles and the service value chain. Also try and read the official material and make sure that you capture notes. Week 2 is when you now start deeping dive into the service value chain and the 15K practices. Here you have to focus on how these services interrelate, the connection, the relationship between them. Week 3, take practice questions. Practice questions. From a practice question, you can start seeing the areas where you have some weaknesses and the areas where you have some strength. And what you want to do is, in the 4th week, as you start getting ready for your exam, the areas where you feel you're scoring low, you want to spend some time to study them. This is a 4-week study plan. Honestly, our guys do it in 3 weeks. The training for 2 weeks, and then the 3rd week, they go write the exam. And they're coming back to us to say, oh, thank you, Simplilearn, I had 95%. Thank you, Simplilearn, I had 97%. Thank you, Simplilearn, I had 93%. Almost a week after. Because all of the concept we would have covered during the exam. You can ask questions. You can use relatable examples. We can interact. Even after the training, we also have extensive resources on the learning management system, on the portal that you can go back to. We have mock exams and all of those. But anyways, that is for this 4-week study plan as an example, but you can get it done in 3 weeks. The training for 2 weeks, and the 3rd week, you're right on your way to becoming ITIL version 5 certified.
Perfect. So Bola, I think you must be an absolute pro when it comes to exams, seeing the number of certifications and qualifications you have. So can you take our learners through some strategies, exam strategies that have personally worked for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say this. Learn in layers. And I like that you said that, Anaya, he's worked for me because I've got a lot of certification. It's also worked for our participants, our delegates, our students. So it's not just me, it's me and a couple of other people like you. Study in layers. Don't try to memorize everything at once. First, understand the core concept, and I'm using the word understand. First, understand the core concept, then move on to the principles, and then the practices. The core concept, first understand that, because you are creating a block that you want to use to build. And then you go into the principles, understand them, relate them to your life, to your work, and then the practices. With this, you're building a mental map, making it easier for you, not just to retain, but also to apply the knowledge during the exam and even outside of the exam. Then, prioritize quality sources over volume. I say this again, prioritize quality sources over volume. Don't watch this YouTube video here, and then this YouTube there, and there's this YouTube there. I have attended trainings for all my certifications because I understand the value of concentrated learning. I've also attended all my trainings from accredited training organizations because those organizations have gone through extensive review, like Simplilearn. So, as against, I'm taking this here, I'm reading something here, I'm reading something, just prioritize quality sources over that. And then master exam taking tactics. Do mock test. For Simplilearn, we have about 2 or 3 mock exams. When people take those mock exams, honestly, they say, you know what, Bola, as I finished the mock exam, I knew I was going to pass the exam. And I was talking to the exam success, the student learner success manager. I knew I was going to pass the exam. So learning layers, don't try to memorize everything. That's one. Prioritize quality sources over volume. And then take a lot of practice question, a lot of mock. What that does is it simulates the exam scenario. It puts you in an exam scenario because you are going to get 40 questions. You are timed for 60 minutes. And the questions are in the layer and the format of the exam. With that, you can tell, 1, your time management, 2, your weaknesses. It's always been my recommendation.
Okay, great. So I think before we move on to the next slide, I see a couple of you have raised hands. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A box and let us know. We will be coming to the Q&A section very shortly, so we'd be able to look into your questions and give our answers live. So please do use the Q&A box. Right. Bola, how about time management for the exam? It's 1 hour exam with 40 questions to answer. So, what all
Yes.
should someone do to ensure that they don't run out of time?
Absolutely. And you started it, right? It's 1 hour, 60 minutes. It's 40 questions. What does that mean? It means that you don't have more than 1.5 minutes per question. That's what that means. So first, understand that for every question, I must not spend more than 1.5 minutes. But my suggestion is try not to spend more than 1 minute on a question. And how do you do that? Well, for the first 15 minutes, what you want to do is build momentum. For the first 15, 20 minutes, you want to go through the questions and answer the ones that are easiest real quick. Because trust me, if the first question you are answering and you find it slightly difficult and you're spending so much time on that, before you know what happens, you are on 2 minutes already and that one question. And that's also start affecting the way you see the remaining questions. So first 15 minutes, go through the questions, answer the ones that are very easy. Another strategy that you have is if there is a question that you're not really sure of, that you think is probably difficult, it requires you to have thought a lot about the question. Don't waste so much time. Choose the one that you think is the correct answer and then flag that question or mark that question for review. And then you will come back to it when you have some time. Don't spend, remember, you don't have more than 90 seconds on each question. That means the time to read the question, to answer it, and to check it again. So if you're not very sure, choose an answer, flag it or mark it for review, and go on. It's 60 minutes. Always reserve between 5 to 7 minutes for review. Always make sure that you spend 50 minutes answering all the questions, and you reserve 5 to 7 or 10 minutes to go back to all the questions and do final review, just in case. Just in case. Now, here's the deal. If there's a question that you are not sure of, don't leave it unanswered. Answer the question, but flag the question so that you can come back to review later. For every question that you did not answer, you have 0 chance of getting it right. For every question that you did not attempt, you have 0 chance of getting it right. For every question that you answered, you have about 25% chance of getting it right. If you are very sure about the question, then you have 100% chance of getting it right. So spend 45 to 50 minutes answering all the 40 questions, and then about 5 to 7 minutes reviewing all the other questions. Don't speed up or slow down dramatically because of one question. Pace yourself. And then at the end, you will see that, and I tell you this, a lot of the guys, when they, after our class and they take the exam, and they're like, hey, you know what? I did all the exam in 45 minutes. I was like, that's good. That's great time management. No matter how knowledgeable you are, if you don't manage your time very well, it's going to impact on your performance in the exam. Another thing, and this is my bonus track, don't get discouraged about a question. Oh my God, this question is hard. Damn, I don't think I'm going to pass this exam. No, don't get discouraged. Maintain your calm. A lot of people fidget in an examination room. Maintain your calm and keep track of your time, and you will be fine.
Brilliant. There are some very, very useful insights, Bola. I'm sure it's going to be valuable to a lot of learners here. So with that, why don't we do a short interactive segment now to see if you can apply the learnings correctly in cracking one mock question that we're going to have here. Bola, please take our participants through the sample questions and options. And to all those participants, if and when you crack the answer, please share them in the chat box. It's totally okay if even if it is not the right answer, Bola will guide you on how to arrive at the right one. So, Bola, over to you.
Absolutely. So look at the question. Remember, the question is testing, the exam is testing your knowledge, your understanding, and your application. So look at this question. Let's quickly do something. A major incident has occurred affecting multiple users. The service desk has identified a temporary workaround that restores services, but the underlying cause is still unknown. What should happen next? A, you close the incident record immediately since service is restored. B, you continue investigating root cause before closing the incident. C, you close the incident and create a problem record for root cause analysis. And then D, you escalate to change management for permanent fix approval. In the chat, what option are you going to choose? Let's see. Put it in the chat. Let's see. Again, don't worry. Just put what you think, and then we'll analyze each option.
You can just add the alphabet. Don't have to type the whole answer. Yes, we have
Absolutely.
someone
Don't write
saying
the whole
D,
answer.
someone
Okay?
saying C, a couple of them
Yeah.
saying C.
Absolutely. So this is good. This is good. You need to think like the examiner. You need to apply your knowledge and your understanding. Awesome. Awesome. So let's analyze this. Let's analyze this real quick. So if you look at the first option, option A, that's not right. That's not correct. One thing that you need to understand is the fact that this question is testing your understanding of incidents and problem management. Testing your understanding of incidents and problem management. That's the first thing that you need to understand. An incident is a temporary, unplanned disruption to service or value delivery. A problem is the cause or a potential cause of an incident. Once you understand the two concepts, it becomes really easy for you. So option A is wrong. Option A is wrong. Option B is also wrong if you look at it. Option D is also wrong because this literally is premature escalation. And just as all of us have said, a lot of us have said here, the right answer is option C. Why? Service has been restored. Service has been restored. So we've addressed the incidents. Now let's go ahead to look at the problem, which is a cause of an incident. So we close the incident and then we open a problem ticket and we look at the root cause analysis for that problem. I see, a lot of the participants kind of like got the answer. So C, which is really great. Awesome. But that's how, you are tested in the exam.
Brilliant. Yes, I think a lot of participants got it right, and that's great. So, with that, we come to the last segment of the webinar. We will just quickly take a few minutes to introduce our ITIL Foundation version 5 training program that has just been launched. Bola, you've been an esteemed mentor with us for a few years now. You must have trained hundreds of learners with us. So, what, according to you, are some of the key highlights of Simplilearn's program?
Absolutely. So I mentioned this earlier. I didn't even know we're going to get into this. I mentioned this earlier. 100% success rate. 100%. An 100% success rate on the first attempt. And we're not even just saying 100%. We're saying people score, this pass mark is 65%. People score 90%. People score 93%. People score 95%. That's one of the key highlights here. Another highlight of our ITIL course is the fact that you get 22 PDUs. 22 PDUs. As you know, Simplilearn is a top accredited trainer. We are also a partner with all this massive organization. So when you come for the ITIL training, apart from the fact that you're going to pass for sure, and not just pass with 70%, but 90% and above, you also get 22 PDUs with accredited training that you can apply to, mastering ITIL concept. Also, the training includes the exam package. It's not one of those where you do the training and then you go and figure out how to pay for the exam and all of those things. It's an all-inclusive exam package. You get the exam voucher, you get the official courseware, you get ebooks, you get study plan, and you also get cheat sheet that you can use to deepen your understanding of the ITIL framework and continue to deliver value to your organization and your stakeholders. And then there are over 100 deep practice quizzes, must tests, case studies, and exam style assessment. I mentioned this. Questions that have the same format and the same layout and the same style as the exam question. I'm not saying they're the exam questions, but very similar in format, in wording, and in style. Usually, by attending the training, you've cut your study time by more than 60%. You've also cut your understanding because it's interactive. You can ask questions as against, just doing, some YouTube video. You can also engage with your participants as well, and it's structured. And an interesting thing is the fee includes the examination fee as well.
Perfect. How is the program curriculum like, Bola, and what makes it as structured or efficient as it is? If you can take us through the learning path, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Remember, my strategy and the strategy that I shared here is learn in layers. Learn in layers. Start with the foundational building block and then start laying on top of it. And that's the same approach that we have applied to the design of the instruction for ITIL. So we're going to start Module 1 with key terms and definition, those foundational concepts that help to develop appreciation for the later content. And then Module 2, we'll look at the 4 dimensions of product and service management. The different elements that organizations have to put in place for them to be able to start delivering services and products. And then we move on to the Module 3, which is the ITIL product and service life cycle. Module 4, we focus on that system, the ITIL value system that has governance and guiding principles and value chain activities and continual improvement. And then Module 5, we look at value stream identification, value stream management, and value stream mapping. Module 6, just as we said, how can you talk about anything without mentioning Uncle AI? Maybe not. So we now look at ITIL and AI. We look at overview of AI. We look at the impact of AI in ITIL and IT service management domain and the governance principles in applying ITIL. And then Module 7, we look at the interaction between ITIL and other frameworks like DevOps, like Agile, like Prince, like project management. By the time we cover this, you develop deeper understanding and appreciation for ITIL as it is used for value delivery and business transformation.
Well, very well put, Bola. I think that's quite comprehensive. My next question, I think a lot of people might be very interested to know about. As an ITIL trainer and practitioner, what are some career impacts that you have seen amongst certified professionals? Is there like a trend of salary growth that happens post certification?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to be super open with you. I have seen a pay raise. I have seen a salary increase as a result of me earning certifications. I have also seen from some of our students who say, hey, you know what? I'm attending this because it's a requirement for promotion, because it's a requirement for the next level, because now I'm being an IT leader and I need this certification to be able to get there. Also, in terms of the different roles, for example, service delivery managers, they need ITIL to be able to effectively. Now, what we find is those service delivery managers who don't have ITIL tend to earn slightly lower and I'm using the word tend to earn slightly lower than their counterparts who have a certification. And with ITIL, you can literally become a service delivery manager, you can become an ITSM manager, or even a solution architect. So one, it increases your earning ability. Two, it qualifies you for pay raise, because now you're saying, you know what, I'm not just who I was when you hired me. I now have a certification, and that certification will position me to be able to deliver value better to our stakeholders. And you know when that is, typically organizations will want to listen to you. In fact, we've seen some private clients come to Simplilearn to say, hey, we're preparing these guys for the next level, and we want them to be trained on ITIL. And hearing that shows me the understanding that the leadership of the organization have about the value that ITIL brings at the organizational level. At the individual level also, you can command higher salary. And, these are data that you can see, on several portals.
Brilliant. And if those statistics are not convincing enough, here are success stories from two of our dearest learners. You can see the record of their testimonials here. Let me just read out a couple of excerpts. Amar Abdullah reported a 35% salary hike after completing this program and gaining some experience. While Jose Rubin has also had more than 30% salary growth thanks to the learnings from this program. So, for those of you who are interested, here are the fee details. For Indian learners, it is 32,813 rupees. For USA learners, it is $799. And if you are from Asia Pacific country or European country or African and Middle Eastern countries, it is $699 or 699 euro if you're from any European countries. So for our audiences from other parts of the world, sorry that we are not able to list all the currencies here in the presentation, but I'm going to share the program page for all of you to look into. You can access the exact fee in your currency from the program page here. So for those of you who are interested, let me just launch a quick poll to take your interest in enrolling in the program. Even if you are, a little unsure, if you would like more details, or you want to talk to an expert, please click on yes. Our advisor will be getting in touch with you to guide your way forward. And while we have learners answering the poll, Bola, we can take a look at a couple of questions that have come our way. The first one is, I think, very, very relevant with the update that has come. So how long can we still take test on the version 4? How long is it going to be valid for?
All right, very good question. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is usually a change. So does that mean that ITIL 4 is not going to be available, anymore? Or no, no, no. You will still be able to take your ITIL 4, quite frankly. There is no confirmed date for retirement of ITIL 4. So what that means is ITIL 4 and ITIL 5 will continue to run in parallel for at least 12 months. For at least 12 months. Simplilearn will confirm the date when ITIL 4 will not be available anymore, and then they will let us know. But there's no date on that yet.
Okay, I hope that answered the question. So we have gotten quite a lot of interest to enroll in the program. So with that, I'm going to end the poll. And we will move on to what a lot of you might be eager to know about, which is the attendance certificate. We will be launching another poll now where you can give us your full name, and we'll be able to generate the certificate and share with you an email within the next 48 working hours. For those of you watching us on LinkedIn and YouTube, you can drop an email to us at webinars@simplilearn.net, and we'll be able to get back to you with the certificate. Meanwhile, Bola, let's take this last question before we wrap up the session. What about renewal? Like, how does renewal work for ITIL 5? Like, how long would it be valid for, and how does the renewal process work?
Oh, absolutely. As you will expect, the industry that we work in is not stagnant. It's dynamic. It's constantly moving. So you will have 2 years. 2 years. And after the 2 years, or within the 2 years, you need to develop yourself. You need to develop yourself. What does that mean? It means that you can take another training. You can move on from the foundation to maybe the practitioner manager, the practice manager. You can attend some additional webinars. You can do so many other things just to improve, Oh, actually, sorry, it's 3 years. It's 3 years, right? It's 3 years. After 3 years, you will have to renew. Renew doesn't necessarily mean that you will have to take the exam again. You need to get something called continuous professional development. You need to get 20 of those per year for 3 years. And you can get that by maybe getting another certification from ITIL or just attending additional training. And trust me, as professionals, once you're part of the Simplilearn ecosystem, it becomes really easy because there are different programs and materials that help you to get those, continuous professional development you need, and also advance your knowledge and deepen your experience within the ITIL framework itself. So 3 years for renewal.
Perfect. Okay. With that, I'm going to end the poll for the certification as well. So we come to the end of the session. So this last 1 hour is gone by pretty quickly, I would say. So thank you, Bola, for all the wonderful insights and tips that you've shared with us. Like your guidance and your knowledge is really, really valuable. Do you have any final remarks to share? Any advice for our learners?
Before I share that, I would just want to call your attention to Susan Gaffney's comment in the chat, so you can take that. But Sigurd, your professional development is your responsibility. Take it seriously, 1. And 2, partner with the right organization. Partnership can reduce your development period, your development time by up to 40%. And I can tell you this, from my experience. Partner with Simplilearn and take your professional development, serious. Organizations are constantly looking for professionals who are ready, and you want to position yourself. And I hope to see you in class.
Brilliant. With that, we're wrapping up the session. If anyone has any concerns or any query that we were not able to address, or even any feedback to share, please write to us at webinars@simplilearn.net. And once again, Bola, thank you so much for being here with us today and guiding us through the session. And to all the participants, thank you as well for spending the last 1 hour with us. We hope that you'll be able to apply the learnings from the session as well as what you'll be getting from our program to get ahead in your career. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
All right, bye, everyone.